Hello, my Facebook friends and family. I'm so glad to be here with you. I just want to check whether I can hear and see myself. If you are listening, please let me know whether you can hear or see me so that I know that I'm not just talking to myself. So, today, what I want to do is I'm going to do a training. Okay, it seems like I can hear myself. Okay, awesome. Today, what I want to go and do is I want to introduce to you the first part of my rock bottom to rock solid program, which is finding yourself again. Now, for those of you that hasn't yet um, attended my pop-up training, you won't know what it's about, but I'm going to very quickly explain to you what we do in there and just help you a little bit forward. So if I can help you with 1, 2, 3 steps today, then I'm happy. So if you're here, if you're watching, just say hi in the comments below. I can see someone hearted already. Who's that? I don't know who it is. Let me know. Okay, let me see. All right, let me add this to the stream. I always work with a slideshow because otherwise I do forget. um, all right, I just want to see how I can maximize my own screen so I can see properly. Okay, so this is the rock bottom to rock solid system with me, Jana de Toy. I'm the personal mentor and student Christian counselor for Jana de Toy since 2016. I'm the creator of the Rock Bottom to Rocksolid System, and I'm the author of Create a Beautiful Life, a Christian woman's freedom guide from feeling lost to finding yourself again, which is part of the Sage series. You'll see it. I don't know if I have this. Okay, no, I don't have it here. But any case, my soul. Just go back. Okay. All right. I help frustrated Christian career women to create a beautiful life by helping you to firstly find yourself again, then find your passions and purpose, finding your tribe of people, and then creating freedom through an online business using my rock bottom to rock solid system while reconnecting to God, His people, while reconnecting you to God, His people, and yourself so that you can activate abundance in your life. I hope that sounds great. So the first thing that I teach my student would be finding yourself again, because that's very important, and that's where my journey started, with finding myself again. Okay, finding yourself again is all about telling an empowering story about your past, your present, and your future, determining your top 10 values, crafting a vision for your life, determining your mission statement, and setting powerful goals. All right. So, if I talk about telling an empowering story about your past, your present, and your future, what am I talking about? A lot of us, when people ask us about our past, or ask us about our current situation, or ask us about where we're going in life, we tend to give a negative answer. So, if you had to talk to a stranger in a setting about your past and they ask you, what has your life been like? We tend to go into a negative space. So, what I try and teach you is how to tell an empowering story about your past, your present, and your future, not just looking at the negative things, but looking at the positive things in your life. And how do I do that? What I teach my students is I teach you that you hold the pen. So I say that we each have a story that we write, like an author of our lives. Okay. And then each and every day we get issued with a brand new page. So every day, every month, every year, chapters end and new chapters begin. So you start writing a new story, and if you're getting tired of the plot, you start a new chapter. And if you don't like where you're at, you move, because you're not a tree. You can move, you can change the story, you can flip the page over, and you can decide to start writing a new chapter, or writing a new paragraph, even writing a new sentence or a new word. Now, obviously, I'm just using this as a metaphor for your life, but we can change at any time in our lives. We can decide that we don't like where we're at, so we can decide what we want to be in life. Okay, so just start by writing a powerful and empowering story about your life. And if you haven't yet done that, start by doing that today. Take that pen that you were dealt with and max it out. Some of the people come to my pop-up trainings and then say to me, well, Jana, I didn't get a pen that works very well. My body, I've got autoimmune diseases, or um, I've been born with a disability, or like myself, I have ADHD. But what I say is take that pen that you were dealt with and absolutely max it out. Okay, it doesn't help crying over things you cannot change, but accept the things that you can't change and change the things that you can, and write that new story, because God gives you that pen and you've got that pen in your hand and you've got ink in your pen. So you have got to write the story of your life, and you don't stop writing until you die. Okay. So you write that story of your life because God has given you free will. You're not a robot. You're not a zombie. You've been given free reign and unique talents, skills, and interests. And that page before you is blank. So if you don't like the story that you're writing at the moment, listen, you hold the pen, okay? So you're not going to blame someone sitting at their desk next to you busy writing their own story. You're not going to look at your husband. You're not going to look at your boss. You're going to write the story of your life, okay? I'm going to change the story if I don't like what I'm writing right now. And I'm going to flip the script. I'm going to throw a plot twist or two in there, okay? But you determine the story that you're writing. What about the power of our tongue? Joel Osteen says you can change your world by changing your words. Remember that death and life are in the power of the tongue. So, where does he get that? From the Bible. Death and life is in the power of the tongue. Choose life. I lay before you life and death. Choose life. In the book As a Man Thinketh of James Allen, he says, As a man thinketh, so is he. And that's also in the Bible. It is in Proverbs. Okay. And making sure that the language that we're using with ourselves and with others are actually building us up and not breaking us down is very important, because there's power in our tongue. Focus and use the creative power of your tongue. Don't waste it on cursing and criticizing and belittling yourself and other people, because you've got power in your tongue. So you've got to use that power. So use powerful I am statements so that you can prep your brain for the future. Now, let me know if this makes sense. I just want to see if I can still see myself here. All right, it looks like we're good. It looks like we're on. Let me just. I just want to share this. See if I can share this to my group or not. Let's see. Share. Okay, it just seems like I can share it with a specific person. So if you're here, if you want to share this, you are very welcome to do so. Okay. So you've got power in your tongue. You've got to use that power. And you've got to use powerful I am statements. Because if you're just negative, your brain cannot distinguish between what is negative and what's positive. Okay. So your brain believes everything that you put into your brain. So you need to prep your brain with powerful I am statements for the future. Okay. So what I also teach my clients in the 5-day free pop-up training is your top 10 values. How do you determine your top 10 values? And it's very important, because when you know your top 10 values, you can stay true to yourselves. Every day, we have an opportunity to review and evaluate our lives. And we can ask ourselves whether we are being true to ourselves. Are you living according to your values? Because that's called being congruent. Or are you lying to yourself? Are you breaking promises to yourself? Are you not living according to your values? That is called cognitive dissonance. So being true to yourself means that you are unapologetically and authentically and uniquely you. I want you to get comfortable with being different. Get comfortable with valuing things that others doesn't. You don't have to like the things that others do, because you are made unique as your fingerprint and you can be different. So, what are the things that you're willing to suffer for in your life? What is the hard that you choose? What are you so passionate about that you're willing to sacrifice your time, your money, your energy to accomplish it? Because each and every one of us has been given a gift in life. Okay, we are great at something. Okay, and we've got to hone that skills, and we will have to get mastery in what we do so that we can serve others from the overflow. So we need to know what our core values are, because it points us to our true north. You've got to make a choice, But your values, when you don't know your values, it is going to be in conflict. When you don't know what is your top 10 values, it's going to be difficult for you to make your hard decisions because you don't know what you value. So in my 5-day free pop-up training, I teach how to determine your top 10 values. We also have a workbook that you can download that makes this an easy exercise for you. So you can join the pop-up training by, I'm going to leave a link in the comments below, to join the Rock Bottom to Rock Solid community. And then in the pinned sections, you will actually find the workbook that you can download, and you will find the 5-day free pop-up training. So it's about an hour each trainings for 5 days, and it's all up there pinned in the top section of the group. So you can go and watch that. You can download the workbook and go through all of this. So all of this that I'm discussing with you now, it is just like introducing the concept to you. I go very deep in the pop-up training. So then we need to talk about crafting a vision for your life. What is the difference between a dream and a vision? For most of us, it is easy to do our vision exercises because it's fun and it's inspiring. You can enjoy it. But when it comes to turning your vision into a goal and an action plan, you fade and you cower from it. And then it's going to always just stay a dream. You need to start asking yourself, what will it take to achieve my dreams? What are the action steps that I need to take to make my vision a reality? So don't tell me your top level dreams. Don't tell me you want an MBA. Tell me how you're going to make it happen. Because dreams will die on your pillow if you don't take action on them. Les Brown says, live full, but die empty. Live full, die empty. All right. Then make a vision board for yourself. So I use Pinterest to make this one, and the Poster Maker app. You can make a vision board out of magazine pictures or whatever else triggers and reminds you of what you want. Okay, if you want to wear a hot pink bikini this December, you can even hang it up in your closet or in front of the fridge if that makes you happy. But you need to have a vision board so that you know where you're headed, what you want. Okay. Right. It just serves as triggers and reminders for your brain of where you're going, what you want. And sprinkle some triggers all over your house. A picture here, an ornament there. Set your environment up to win. Because every time you look at that ornament, every time you look at that picture or that thing, you are going to be reminded of your goals. You're going to be reminded that you need to take action on your goals. So it's very important to have a vision board. Who are you willing to become? So if you're looking for a sign, there it is, baby. Okay. Are you ready to dream up a vision for your life and make it a reality? If you woke up tomorrow and I had a magic wand and you had the life of your dreams, would you be able to handle it? Okay. Make a decision on who you're willing to become every day. And every day you make decisions and you form opinions on what you believe about yourself. And you are the decisions you make on a daily basis. You're only one decision away from having an exponentially different life. So are you willing to do what it takes to realize your dreams? And are you able to reach your dreams? Then in the 5-day pop-up training, we look at determining your mission statement. So with regards to mission statements, I tell my clients or my students that your mission statement is like your obituary, okay? Because death is inevitable. You need to live each day as if it's the last day you've got. If I had to phone you right now and say to you, listen, you've got a diagnosis, you've only got 1 year to live, okay? What will change? What would you do more of? And what would you do less of? Okay. Find meaning in the date of your death. Not one of us knows the date of our death. So we need to live full so we can die empty. Don't live someone else's dream. Don't copy someone else's life. You have got a blank page and your pen is full of ink. So don't waste it. You don't know how much ink you actually have left. So write your story. Okay. Mark Manson says, in a bizarre, backwards way, death is the light by which the shadow of all life's meaning is mismeasured. Without death, everything would feel inconsequential, all experience arbitrary, and metrics and values suddenly zero. Because if there wasn't an expiry date to our lives, we could just go on as we are, okay? Whatever goes, goes. But now there's an expiry date, and none of us knows when it is, okay? So when death is inevitable, we realize that we only got one try. This is not your practice life. This is the only chance you've got. You need to max it out. I teach you to set powerful goals. Okay. I want you to plan your life. Because if you keep shooting blindfolded, if I put a blindfold on you and I spin you around, I give you an arrow and I say, okay, shoot the target, you stand a 99% chance to miss. So I want you to start aiming. Decide what you want out of life. Dream a dream, make it a vision, plan for it, and go do it. Don't live your life like a zombie. You need to start doing something for you, something that you will thank yourself for in the future. I don't know if this makes sense. Tell me if you're on the replay, say hashtag replay. If this makes sense, say this makes sense, okay? So I know. All right. Don't live your life like a zombie, okay? When you want it, your dream, your goal, with every fiber of your being, and you're convinced that you will have it, if you take planned action, and if you embrace your failures, and if you get allies, people who are on this journey with you that can support you, you will achieve your goals. You need to be in a constant cycle of renewing your mind, Romans 12 verse 2, so that it can influence your thoughts and your actions and improve your circumstances. Now, let's for a second look at an unpleasant thought. If someone actually had a gun to your head and he or she said, you need to reach your goals right now, okay? Think about a goal that you would like to achieve in 10 years. Let's say, Yana, I would love to have a passive income in 10 years from now. Or Yana, I would love to write a book. I'd love to become an author. Or Yana, I'd love to start my own podcast. Or Yana, I would love to have an online business on the side that gives me some extra income so that I can provide my family with a little bit more than they are used to. Okay, think about that goal that you would want to achieve in 10 years. What might you do to accomplish that 10-year goal in 6 months if someone literally had a gun to your head and you had to? If your life depended on it, what might you do to accomplish your goal? Can you expedite your goals and reach it in a shorter time frame? Because that's where the magic happens. Have you ever seen how much work you can get done if you actually have if you have a deadline? It's amazing. Okay. So can you expedite your goals and reach it in a shorter time frame? Okay. Where the magic happens, that's where all the extra and the unnecessary stuff that you add onto your list that you need to go and do, which is actually a form of procrastination, where that fades away and you make space for urgency and efficiency. So this is the formal invitation to the 5-day free pop-up training where we actually do a deep dive on a powerful and empowering story about your life, past, present, and future. We determine your top 10 values and why it's important. We do a 3-year vision for your life. We write out a mission statement and we determine the meaning of your life and we set some powerful goals. All right. So if you're looking to join us for that free pop-up training, I'm going to leave the link to join that group in the description below. Go and join the group. Like I said, download the workbook in the pinned section. Go and watch day 1 to 5. Go and do the exercises. Participate in the group so you can have the answers to those 5 questions. Okay. Now, when we look at implementation versus information, what's the difference? Okay. You could Google and you could buy books and you can do all of this. And it can take you 5 years full time. Okay. But remember that knowledge isn't power. The application of knowledge is power. So it doesn't help when you just accumulate knowledge, but you don't do anything with it. Okay. The world needs your solution. So you need to stop hiding. Now, I've got a special invitation for those of you who would like to explore this further. So I'm looking for 5 uninspired career women. So you currently have a job right now, but you're not happy. Okay, you want to create something for yourself on the side. Someone who wants to find their passions and purpose. Okay, Jana, so I'm in this career, but I don't really know what else I should be doing with my life. I want to start my own business, but I don't really know what I'm passionate about. What is something that I could be doing? So, in the next 30 days, from 1 October till 31 October, okay, we are running a transformation accelerator. Now, the transformation accelerator is a whole life coaching practitioner diploma pressed and squeezed into 30 days. Okay. So it's a 30-day life transformation accelerator that's going to take you places, girl. Okay. So it is for women only. It's a women only container. So you can comment me below, me with a I don't know what you call it, exclamation mark, and I'll DM you the details of this opportunity. So this would be $147, and it's going to be a 30-day container where we're going to give you a daily prompt with an action step every single day, and I'm going to make sure that you take action on that. Okay, there's going to be prizes, we're going to have a leaderboard, and we're going to have some fun. I already have a few women in there, so I'm looking for 5 more women that can join us. It's a private container, it's a paid container, it's $147. I'm also going to leave you the link to join below so you can go and join. So accelerating your transformation, what are we going to do in that 30-day container? Firstly, we're going to take an inventory of your life. Where are you at right now? Okay. And then we're going to look at your sense of self from every possible angle so you can understand your self psychology. We're going to look at how you present yourself to the world. What is holding you back from reaching your full potential? We're going to look at unhelpful thinking patterns that your brain goes into on default. We're going to look at what it takes, the freedom, the power, the responsibility to make a choice, how others will remember you. We're going to look at beliefs that affect your life, what determines your priorities in life, the truth about who you really are. We're going to look at people, the habits, the attitudes, the activities in your life. We're going to determine your unique passions and purpose. And we're going to look at having the time to do the things that you are actually passionate about, and creating some life balance. Now, I hope that sounds interesting to you. If it sounds great to you and you would like to join us, $147 once off, and you get lifetime access, you need to drop me with an exclamation mark below, and I'm going to DM you the details. All right. Okay, so I think that is it. All right, so okay, my friends, so you can join the pop-up training if you haven't done the 5-day pop-up training already, if you want to do a deep dive on what I've just taught you today, or you can join us for the Transformation Accelerator that is starting October 1st. I'm very excited about that. So you can comment me below and I will DM you the details. All right, so I hope you have a lovely day further, and we will see each other again. All right, my friends, enjoy your day. Bye-bye.